Hey y'all, it's BJ Detmer here, finally making my first video, which is long overdue, by the way. And I'm just here to promote my book, Bangkok, James and the Secret of the Andes. It's an Indiana Jones parody meant to homage the movies of Indiana Jones, obviously, and because just so much love for those films, and even the novels that came out. This actually was partially inspired by one of the novels. But I'll get into that in a minute. Bangkok James is about a treasure hunter, broke one by that, because why not, named Bangkok James. It takes place in 1995, and it's about a broke treasure hunter named Bangkok James going after the city of El Dorado to pay rent. So, and along the way, he runs into his old mentor and some other pretty nasty fellas. Sorry, my cat's in the background being mean. Some pretty nasty fellas along the way. Anyway, it's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. I think thrift books too. It's available a lot of places. Please go check it out. Any sale that comes out of this book helps. First off, it does two things. It helps fund my next book, but then it also shows that there are people interested in a sequel for this because I do want to make this a series. Badly enough that I actually, let me show y'all, added a little tidbit at the very end. Bangkok James will hopefully return. I think that's backwards, but if it's backwards, it's not backwards on the page. It's backwards probably on the screen, but that's how I'm seeing it anyway. I'm recording this on my phone. But yeah, I really want to make this a series. So if I can get, if like sales prove that people like this, and the same thing with reviews, I really appreciate reviews as they give me honest feedback that help me improve upon my work. Because I'm gonna be honest, I never went to college for any writing. The only classes I took were actually for comic script writing. So my door opened. I think my cat left. So this is my first time ever writing a novel with almost little experience. It's a bit of a thick book. I'd say it has a pretty unique style. It's kind of how I like to write. So if not, that's just whatever. But one thing that I did do in this is a lot of neat things in this book, aside from the little tidbit at the end being like Bangkok James will hopefully return, because I really want to make it a series. I also have a little illustration at the back of a key item. Get it, key item with the key. Of a certain thing I came up with. That was done by, I can't remember her name. Ruan Lima, wonderful person. Did a lot of commissions for me when I was just bored and doing crap. But then I did a lot of languages. I predominantly Spanish, as a lot of Spanish-speaking countries are portrayed in this book. But as you can see here, there's a lot of Spanish with the English translation under. And I don't know a lick of Spanish, so I had to have my buddy who does know Spanish help me. Let me see if I can get him in here. He's actually my roommate. Hey! Hey! Okay. Well, I can't get him in here. He's eating right now, I guess. He's on lunch. I'm off today, so... Anyway, but yeah. Go check that out. Oh, fuck. This is the guy that helped me with my Spanish.
Hello. Sorry about that. I was eating something delicious.
Yes. He did all the Spanish. Aside from very few things, he did most of the Spanish, so I can't thank him enough. He also gets a nice little thing at the back that, because he did a lot more than just the Spanish. He like test read even when he didn't want to. He did a lot of things for this book. So I appreciate him a lot. He, if anything, I almost would have considered counting him as my co-writer if he actually wrote parts of it. So, but no, I wrote this all. He just did a lot. He helped with a lot of the Spanish. He also, though he only helped me with I think the only Spanish I did was the one Costa Rican slang. That was the only one I think I did. Everything else he did. So even the the Madrid Spanish, which I guess can be weird.
It can be kind of weird. It just depends mostly on some slang.
Yeah.
I'm more familiar with Mexican Spanish.
Yeah.
So if there's any kind of like weird things about some of the Spanish there, it could be because of that. But other than that, I did what I could.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so yeah, he did that. That's the man that helped me with the Spanish.
Buy his book.
Yeah, buy my book, please. Buy my book.
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, all the numbers.
Yes. Anyway, so thank you. So now I want to kind of get into what inspired me to write this book. So it's two things that inspired me to write Indiana Jones, this Indiana Jones parody. And of course, I mean, you'd think Indiana Jones would be one of them, obviously, but I didn't want to write a book originally. What I wanted to do was write a comic book. Like I said before, I actually did a lot of script stuff. And if you can see back here, a lot of comics. You can't see it out here, but there's also, like, to the side here, a comic stand with a bunch of comics. And I know you can't tell, but a lot of these comics are by Scott Snyder. There's the Batman run, his Metal Omnibus, there's AD. There's a lot of stuff here by Scott Snyder. Of course, JoJo's over there. That's not important. What inspired me to write this book was because I had actually found this, Voodoo Heart by Scott Snyder. And, of course, being as, like, I have a lot of Scott Snyder stuff, he's who inspired me to write comics and take the comic classes. He even has his own comic classes that I take. So yeah, he wrote a book, and I'm like, wait a minute, if I can't get a comic out because I can't draw, and not a lot of publishers will accept me because I can't, like, I don't have a creative team because I can't afford one, then why don't I try writing a book? But then I was thinking, I don't know how, I'm not really sure, like, if I could really adapt something like Indiana Jones, like that pulpy stuff, into a book, especially because I don't know how, I've never really read a book that has a lot of, I've never really read a book that had a lot of good action in it. But then I found this, Indiana Jones and the Peril of Delphi. It's not the most perfect, especially with the action, it's not the most perfect. But reading it did make me go, wait a minute, I definitely could write an Indiana Jones style book. And that's what I did. A lot thicker of a book, but I did. I wrote a book. Do check this book out. It's a little hard to find, but this book is really enjoyable in my opinion. A lot of the Rob McGregor books are actually really enjoyable. Same thing with the Max McCoy books. They're also really enjoyable. But yeah, those are the two books that inspired me to write this book. And this book, from what I've gotten back with people that have read it, they say it's really fun. It was published back in April. So again, I'm really late to this. When I should be. But I'm trying to reach this out before the new Indiana Jones film comes out. Try to ride that wave. You know what I'm saying? Buy this book. Ride the wave. Hashtag ride the wave. Don't do that. But yeah, so I did. So yeah, those two inspired me to write this book. And again, I think I've already stated this, but buying this book helps two things. It helps show interest that this could be a series, which I really want it to be a series. In fact, I already wrote like 5 chapters of the sequel. But 2, it helps with my next project, which I will discuss in my next video that will be released right after this. The next video will be a roadmap plus future project update. And one thing I do want to say is that if this does sell enough copies, it could actually fund enough to get this book adapted into a comic book. It would give me enough money to hire a creative team to adapt this into a comic book. And if I can do that, then I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna like geek out a little bit and be really excited. But if I can get this adapted to a comic book, then any sequel after that will be comic books. Will be graphic novels per se. I like writing graphic novels more than like single issue comics, though I'll obviously do that if I need to. But most likely because I already wrote this as a book, the next one, the sequel, if I can get one out, would be another book. So, thank you all for watching this video. I know I kind of really did, pander this length. I'm not trying to be monetized or anything, but I was just trying to talk a lot about it. I really like what I wrote here. I'm really interested in what I wrote. So please check it out. I'll post a bunch of as many links as I can into places where you can buy this book: Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles. Please check it out. If you want, check out the other books I said. Indiana Jones, Peril at Delphi, really good by Rob McGregor, and Voodoo Heart by Scott Snyder, also really good. All right, it's been going for like 10 minutes now. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna start working on my next video. Look for it. It's gonna be a roadmap plus future project update, and there will be a little bit more Bangkok James talked about there as well. Most likely just talking about future sequels. Alrighty, thank you so much, and y'all have a wonderful day.